Alright, guys. I don't know how many times this is gonna happen. It seems like it happens very often throughout my week, but just to let you guys know, I woke up about 15-20 minutes ago. I hop on Twitter, and what do you think I saw this time? Let's take a guess. No, I didn't see any Season 2 news, because that's not happening. I didn't see any updates from Infinity Ward or any updates for MW2. Instead, what I saw was apparently the active player count in Call of Duty across Warzone 2, MW 2019 Part 2, and COD Mobile has apparently actually been revealed. Now, before I show the tweet and the alleged proof, let me just remind everybody that the Scatmaster over here, if you're not subscribed, you know what to do, alright? It's free content. I do this for fun, alright? Scatmaster has not had one incorrect take about MW 2019 Part 2 since October. I don't know what kind of streak I'm on, but I'm on one, alright? Now listen up, this comes from Tom Henderson 6 hours ago. He says, Video Game Museum reveals Call of Duty live player numbers for the first time in years, if accurate. So let me make this disclaimer as clear as possible. This is not entirely 100% confirmed, although what I'm about to read you guys in the article might suggest that it actually is true because apparently they have special permission. Well, if you go ahead and click on this article, this is what you're shown. At the time of the image, it appears that 424,000 people were playing Warzone 2, 184,000 people were playing Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2, and 406,000 people playing COD Mobile. That's a total of 1,104,383 people that were playing Call of Duty across all of its titles. Not bad for a series that many call dead. Who's gonna tell them, man? You hate to see that. They go on to say, as for how accurate the numbers are, museum staff allegedly told attendees that they received permission from Activision to display the live Call of Duty numbers. Insider Gaming has reached out to Activision for a comment but has not yet received a reply. Lastly, they say, earlier this month, rumors began to circulate that Warzone 2's player numbers had dropped at a higher rate than expected, which the community said was due to the huge changes the game made from the original. Yeah, well, grass is green, and when you make changes that nobody asked for, and then you ignore the community when you make those changes, yep, that's kind of what happens. Now, I'm not going to be too focused on Warzone 2, although I will say 400,000 active people on Warzone 2 in its entirety. In my opinion, that sounds bad. So I don't know why there's so many people saying, oh, this is for all the people who think Call of Duty is dead, and then they think they're making a joke. I don't know, it sounds like a bunch of theater kids in my opinion. But let me just say, 184,000 active players on Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2 across how many platforms? Let's count it. On PC, there's two. There's Steam and Battle.net. There's PS4 and PS5. Then there's Xbox One and Xbox Series X and those. So across 6 platforms, you have an active total player count of 184,000 people playing. 6 platforms, guys. That is absolutely garbage. If you think that does not qualify as dead, let me just remind you, Black Ops 2, I played on the PS3, occasionally, especially during its peak, would have an active player count only on PS3, one platform, and it was the less popular platform of the two, over 1 million people playing. If you think I'm lying, go search up the numbers, go search up Google Images. Less than half the amount of people playing the free-to-play title, Warzone 2, that are on MW 2019 Part 2. Again, there's a chance this isn't real, and for the Gooch Licker's sake, for Activision's sake, for Infinity Ward's sake, I hope this isn't real. I'm in the same boat as you guys. I hope this isn't real, because it just gives me and a ton of other people content and material to make fun of them. Because as far as I'm concerned, that number is more than deserved. And as a matter of fact, it should be lower. If we're talking straight quality, the player count for MW2 should arguably be less than 100,000 people. There's just so many awkward things with this player count, like the fact that COD Mobile has more players on it than Warzone 2 and MW2. I know there's people that say COD Mobile is the shit, and judging by these numbers, maybe it is. But I think my favorite part about these numbers, if it's true, is something that I tweeted. By the way, if you haven't seen my Twitter, it's Fooly with 2 Y's. Here we go. I responded to this tweet saying, so 400,000 active players is bad, quote unquote, enough for the devs to make significant changes in Warzone 2, but 180,000 active players in MW2 still doesn't get us any significant changes. Guys, what kind of reverse common sense thinking do the devs have? Let's think about this logically. Warzone 2 is free to play, has a combined player count of over 400,000. If you saw the blog post with all the changes, they're getting changes to their movement, they're getting changes to the plating system, they're getting changes to the looting system, the prices. There's a lot of changes going on in there that a lot of people were asking about. I don't know, maybe you would say people were complaining, right? They were crying, and the devs went ahead and altered majority of the problems that they had, largely due to how unsuccessful Warzone 2 was. On the other hand, we have MW 2019 Part 2 with an outstanding player count across 6 different platforms of 180,000 people playing. And how many significant changes did we get to the multiplayer considering how unsuccessful it is? Oh yeah, we're getting the audio adjusted and the perk timer going down a little bit. And that's it. We're getting ranked play and hardcore. And you want to know what the cherry on top is? For Season 2, I might call myself a psychic, because I've been calling that castle and museum were getting added into the game for Season 2 as our new maps. But this whole thing about museum coming back, check out this tweet from Charlie Intel just a couple of hours ago. What does that look like, guys? Oh yeah, it's museum from the beta. Yep, that sucks. Red alert, guys, I have a massive update on this story. Again, if it's true. Charlie Intel just tweeted out just a couple of moments ago as I'm recording this video. A museum in Spain is claiming to have the player count numbers for MW2, Warzone 2, and mobile, but it appears those numbers are not official, nor even close to accurate. Activision doesn't share player counts specifically for games anymore to anyone. Now that changes a lot, guys, but my question is, does it really? Hold on, let me pull this up. Am I tweaking? He says, not even close to accurate, but in the same tweet, he says, Activision doesn't share player counts specifically for games anymore to anyone. Anyone, as in including yourself? So how do we know if this is not accurate? Regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and say these numbers are not real. Except I actually do think it's real. Guys, you know I'm not with the conspiracy theories in Call of Duty. I really like keeping things true to the facts. And since this isn't official and Charlie Intel is tweeting against it, I don't know which way to feel, but I will say, I kind of think Charlie Intel is capping. I'm not gonna lie. I personally think there is some truth to these player count numbers, and they seem realistic in my opinion. I mean, Warzone 2 being, I guess, sort of decent compared to MW2, which are both being blown out by COD Mobile. I think that is true. Well, that makes things kind of awkward, but I will go out on a whim saying, you know what? If these numbers aren't true, I still think the implications are true. I think COD Mobile is doing the best. I think Warzone 2 is doing sort of decent, although they'll consider that not successful. And I firmly believe MW 2019 Part 2 is not succeeding in the slightest, and for how down bad it is, I still don't trust the devs to actually give us actual changes. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what the numbers are. These developers still aren't giving us our fair share of changes that we deserve. If you saw my last video, you know that blog post looked absolutely pathetic. Guys, like I said, I'm not too into the conspiracies, but I think Charlie Intel is doing a little bit of damage control, especially considering how immediately after that tweet, Charlie Intel tweets out Double XP is now live in MW2 and Warzone 2 on all platforms. Look, guys, I'm not a professional here. I don't have inside information. I just like talking shit for fun. Something genuinely tells me Charlie Intel is doing some damage control. And you know what? It still begs the question, why aren't the player counts shown? If Warzone 1 and MW 2019 was supposedly this smash hit success, why wouldn't you flaunt those numbers actively? Especially in a game like Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2, the fastest and highest selling Call of Duty of all time, with Warzone 2 behind it, right? Wouldn't you want to show off those numbers? Or maybe it's not because, well, as very many wise people have said, maybe Call of Duty is just dying. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. In your opinion, whether or not these numbers are true, which I kind of do think they are true to an extent, do you think Call of Duty is actually dying? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
It's been a very long time since the weekend. It's been a very